Item 8, proclamation recognizing the retirement of Cheryl Schnell, Lojinos Gonzalez, Vice Chair, Board of County Commissioners.
I'd invite Cheryl up, and I move to approve proclamation recognizing the retirement of Cheryl Schnell, whereas the Board of El Paso County Commissioners regretfully acknowledges the retirement of Cheryl Schnell. Who is
They're laughing with you, not at you.
Okay, thank you. Has faithfully served El Paso County in the Department of Human Services for nearly 23 years, and whereas Mrs. Schnell began her career in El Paso County as a case manager in the Colorado Works Diversion Program in 1996 and was promoted to Employment and Family Support Division Manager in 2001. And whereas under the leadership, El Paso County DHS was the first Colorado Works program in the state to incorporate child protection case workers as a strategy for promoting family well-being and stability. And whereas in 2014, Ms. Schnell became the Adult and Family Services Director, overseeing adult protective services, child support, Colorado Works, and other assistance programs, leading the division to either meet or exceed all state and federal outcome measures. And whereas as director, she created a partnership between Adult Protective Services and the Colorado Springs Police Department that significantly expanded capacity for responding to reports of elder abuse and neglect. And whereas Ms. Schnell is respected locally and statewide for her creativity and skills in program design and business process improvement, and was instrumental in designing and implementing cutting-edge and family-centered programs. And whereas she came up with innovative solutions and her skills were recognized with the Colorado Works Purpose in Practice Award, Mutual of America Community Partnership Award, and Goodwill CNA Pioneer Award. And whereas she served as State Committee Chair for National Work Support Strategies and on national and state legislative policy groups, and she served on the Fountain Valley Senior Center, Partners in Housing, and Pikes Peak Community Action Agency governing boards. Now, therefore, the Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, hereby recognizes and commends Cheryl Schnell for her nearly 23 years of outstanding service and dedication to the El Paso County Department of Human Services. Done this 7th day of February 2019 at Colorado Springs, Colorado. The Board of County Commissioners of El Paso County, Colorado, Mark Waller, Chair, Lojinos Gonzalez, Jr., Vice Chair, Holly Williams, Stan Vanderwerth, Cami Bremer, members, attested to by Charles Borman, County Clerk and Recorder.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, and for the record, that was seconded by Commissioner Bremer. All right, so we're going to open it up to allow anybody in the audience who would like to come and speak to have a few minutes to come and acknowledge this sad day for El Paso County, but great day for Cheryl.
Good morning, Commissioners. Julie Crow, Executive Director, El Paso County Department of Human Services. I just want to start by saying that Cheryl signed a lifetime commitment with the Department of Human Services, and this may be a breach of contract.
I've gotten stuck in one of those contracts myself with you. I know exactly what it's like.
Yeah. So, in all seriousness, though, I do want to say that I have tremendously enjoyed working with Cheryl. I also want to thank her family, because when we do jobs like this in human services, especially a big job like a director job, your family also has to support you, and in some ways can take a toll with the long work hours and weekends and evenings that have to happen. And so she has with her today Jasmine and Shiv, her daughter and son-in-law, Sunny that you met, Raj, her beautiful grandbaby, and of course her husband, Raini. And thanks to all of you for your commitment and for loaning us your mom and your grandma for all of these years. And we appreciate you for allowing Cheryl to do this work that she does and do it so very well. So thanks to all of you and the family. I also want to add a few things that I especially appreciate about Cheryl, she's extremely calm and practical, works well with the community. And here's a few of the big things she's worked on in the last few years that have really made a difference to El Paso County. She helped us with our detox transition. She helped us bring our Goodwill contract in-house. She helped the single entry point when it was struggling to make some significant improvements. And under Cheryl's leadership, El Paso County has the highest employment entry rate in the entire state of all 64 counties. We're always recognized by the state as having such a great workforce program. Also, under Cheryl's leadership, the Adult Protection Program has the highest rate of safety improvement in the state, and that's continued on year after year, where they're keeping our adults and our elders in need of protection safe. And so for all of those things and many more, I want to add to all of the great things the commissioners said and just say thank you to Cheryl, to her family, for their incredible gift of leadership in El Paso County. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
All right, and for those of you that want to speak, please make your way down. And when you come up to the microphone, if you wouldn't mind, please sign in. That way we can make sure that you're part of the official record.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Garvin, Deputy Executive Director. I will try to keep it together. Maybe I won't. This is one of the toughest retirements for me because Cheryl and I worked together for over 20 years. And when you see someone every day, they become your family. And we've been through a lot together, so damn it, darn it. Sorry, it's a tough one, really it is.
We'll forgive it. We'll
But Cheryl and I have worked together a long time, and at first I don't think we knew what to think of each other, but we worked through our differences and got through it kind of like brothers and sisters fighting, maybe, I don't know. But we got a lot of great work done at the department. I'm very, very proud to have worked with Cheryl Schnell. She's one of the best and most professional women I've ever met. And boy, congratulations.
Good morning. I'm Karen Logan. I'm the Director of Economic and Administrative Services at the department. And I'm going to echo a little bit of what Chris said. Back in the 90s, when we first started working for the department, Chris and Cheryl and I were all supervisors at the same time with a couple of other supervisors. And we were tasked with trying to create what is now TANF in our county because we had a huge change. And Cheryl was a supervisor and I was a supervisor, and thankfully she was very different than I was because I wanted to let's just do it, let's just go. And Cheryl would constantly have to come back and say, whoa, 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 wait a minute, bring me back down to earth. And we'd talk through things and work very well together. I had the opportunity then, as she moved up and I moved up, we kind of moved in different directions. And for the last 5 years, we've been back together working as directors with the department. And it's nice to know that she's still the same. She's still pulling me back, saying, slow down, let's think about this a little bit more. She's a great calming influence. She's very well respected by people in the county and in the state and other counties, and she's an amazing person. This is a huge loss for us. I will miss her very much.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Jo Bell, Manager over Adult and Family Services. Cheryl reminded me of a story that I had forgotten, and I wanted to kind of disclose that story today. I have been with the Department of Human Services many, many years, more than Cheryl has been. And one of the things that she reminded me of 22 and a half years ago was I was on her hiring panel. And so the administrator at the time was Lloyd Malone and myself, and we interviewed a number of candidates, and Cheryl being one of them. So we interviewed a number of folks to become employees at the Department of Human Services, and we didn't select her. And she reminded me of that, and I'm like, really? Well, it turned out that we had a number of vacancies, and I think it was that a candidate declined or something like that, Cheryl. And so lo and behold, we called her and said, hey, would you still like to work with the Department of Human Services? And she said yes. And what a great employee Cheryl has been. And who would have thunk that us failing to not hire would have not given us the outstanding employee and director that she has become. In the 22 and a half years, Cheryl and I, we knew each other and we kind of worked together, but in the last 5 years, she became my boss. So here we are, coming full circle with not only me hiring her, but she became my boss. And I must say that our working together has been one of the greatest experiences that I've had in my whole time of working at Department of Human Services. And Cheryl, I will truly miss you.
It's a good thing I had no pride, and when they called me back the second time, I said yes.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Sophia Horn. I'm a supervisor in adult and family services. I've been with the agency 12 years and had the pleasure of working with Cheryl under a couple different arenas. So under Colorado Works and then under adult services. Some of the best times of my career were in Colorado Works under Cheryl's leadership. She showed so much creativity to that unit. A couple of things I can remember is we were working on WP. That was the goal. We wanted 50% WP, and Cheryl came up with a bunch of different ways to encourage the staff. And I'm sure she remembers we had a big clapper about yay big, and it hung on the wall, and anytime that anyone met their WP goal, any client did, we would go up and slap that big clapper. Everyone loved that sound, and I wish I brought my little clapper today, but I left it at work because we each had individual ones at our desk. And so once we heard the big one, then everyone would kind of do that. And it was a fun, morale boosting thing. Another thing that we did was feed the children. This was the last year it was outside, and Cheryl had us take red cowboy hats, and we, did all these flares on them and put all this fun, sparkly stuff. And it just showed unification with the team, and, the clients and the kiddos, they all loved it. But, those are just a couple examples of Cheryl's creativity and why I liked being, led under her. And which is why I chose adult services as well, because she gave me another opportunity to kind of follow her lead. So I'm going to miss her greatly, and I have a lot of years that I have to gosh, I don't know where I was going with that, sorry. I'm a little nervous, but I had to come up here and speak because Cheryl has just meant so much to me. So, and I also wanted to tell you that she's very, very client focused, and that was one thing that I know is going to, I'll keep that legacy on from her to in the next years of my career. So, thank you for letting me speak.
Oh, you did wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you.
She's walking away right now.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Erica Skolosensky with Discover Goodwill, and it has been my pleasure over the almost 8 years knowing Cheryl. I'll try not to get emotional too, but I'm going to be bad at that. Cheryl is a role model for everyone, being so professional and poised. Your ability to just be agile and work with change and make the best out of everything has been such a model for me, and I thank you for that. This is bittersweet because I want you to go and retire and have a great time and ride off into the sunset, but I also have appreciated that so much. Your focus on clients and what's best for them sometimes, knowing that their ability to do more than they think they can has pushed everyone, even sometimes us, when we're like, we can't do that. Yes, we can, and we did. So I thank you for that. You will truly be missed. I will truly miss you. I hope to stay in touch, but I think that you should go travel and stay away for a little while. So thank you so much for everything that you've done, being a great partner, sometimes a partner in crime, mentor, leader, and friend.
Good morning, Rachel Klein. I'm the contract manager at DHS. I really appreciate Cheryl's leadership over the years. She really mentored me when I started at DHS. I remember, because I work with people and developing a lot of their projects, and I really had no understanding about poverty. And Cheryl really took the time to explain what it was and how it works and how people in poverty, how they exist and how they strive to succeed and how we can help them. And one thing she taught me was and I think it was after I made this comment that she kind of taught me not to say the first thing that always pops into my brain. Because we were talking about things and we were just planning a project. I said, well, why don't they just ask their family for the money? Why don't they just do that? And she said, not everyone has that safety net. And I kind of went, oh. And from that point on, I think I started looking at things differently and really encompassing what we're there to do at DHS. And throughout the years, Cheryl and I have always come together and I'll say, well, let's do this. We can get an 85% outcome. She's like, why don't we strive for maybe 40? People have other things. They may not be able to get there. So I think we've made a good team in putting together the kind of the business side and then the program and the community side and really trying to help people be successful. And I think that's down to Cheryl. She's really spearheaded that lead for us. So I'm going to miss you very much.
Hi, Commissioners. I'm Jane Gravel. I'm an Economic Assistance Manager with El Paso County. And even though I haven't had Cheryl as one of my direct supervisors, managers, directors, I have worked on gone to several meetings, worked on several committees, and the fires, the different things with Cheryl. And I have learned a considerable amount from Cheryl, just watching in those meetings and in the different interactions that we had. Like others have spoke of her calm demeanor and her professionalism, yet she very direct, and she knows how to, in that directness, it's put out very professionally. And she will draw you back, like Karen had mentioned, if some things are going, or she puts out what she thinks. And she has, like others have mentioned, just wonderful ideas. She's great at being a director and all the other ones, and she is going to be very much missed by all. Thank you, Cheryl.
Getting nervous now, sorry. Good morning, Commissioners. Yesenia Torres, Economic Assistance Manager for Colorado Works in the CCAP program. And I just wanted to say that I feel like I just started working with you, but in that short time I have learned a lot. And to echo what everybody else said, Cheryl's very creative and very client-centered, but my biggest takeaway, I think, and that of my team, and Andrew's not here today, he wasn't able to make it, but I think he would say the same, is that Cheryl has also just as big of an investment in our professional development and our leadership. I think to take a page from the book of Cheryl is to keep it simple. That's something I've learned from her, and so I'll leave it there. And I say I wish you very well on your retirement. I'm very happy to meet the real Riley because I've seen your picture. Thank you to your family, and I wish you the best on retirement.
I'm trying to keep it together too, Cheryl. Well, good morning. It's been a journey. I met Cheryl shortly after I came to the department 15 years ago, doing finance and budget, not knowing anything about the programs. And Colorado Works was, aside from child protection, child welfare, more complicated than anything you can believe. And trying to tie the numbers together with the program, Cheryl helped explain things in a calm but clear manner. I don't know how many policies does Colorado Works have?
At least, yeah.
A lot.
A lot.
And explaining each of those policies and what they mean for our families and for the department. And goodness, we just worked together because I could do the numbers, she could do the program, and it's been a journey. We've served together on a lot of committees. Way back, Future Forum, remember that one? And more recently on the Fountain Valley Senior Center. And I'm gonna miss you. But I'm so happy you're taking off and you're gonna journey around, and maybe someday our paths will cross at a national park or a campground, who knows?
Thank you, Elaine. I'm gonna miss you too.
Is there anybody else in the audience that would like to comment on Cheryl's retirement? All right, I think, we got somebody coming down. All right, when you get down here, if you wouldn't mind, please sign in and state your name for the record.
Yes, my name is Ruby O'Leary, and today you've heard from supervisors, managers, directors. I'm just an employee, but I've been with the agency for 13 years, and Cheryl was my supervisor, of course, my manager and director, as she went up the ladder. But I just want to say that her calmness to a somewhat hectic agency, although we do love our job, she brought calmness to the agency. And I just want to thank you for being my mentor and for all the support you gave us. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else in the audience that would like to say anything? Not, Ms. Sapp?
Nicholas Sapp, Deputy County Administrator. For those of you that haven't had the opportunity to work with Cheryl, she is the epitome of professionalism and competency. I've had the joy of sitting in several meetings with her, and as things do in DHS, they often get very exciting and people in the room get very excitable. And Cheryl has always been a very strong, calming force. Several meetings I've sat with her and she has sat absolutely silent for the great length of the meeting. And then when she finally speaks, it's very calm, it's very strong, it's very competent, it's very confident, and everybody listens and everybody follows what Cheryl has to say. And that has been so extraordinarily effective. And I just want to thank you so much for all your years and all your dedication to El Paso County.
Thank you very much.
All right, Cheryl, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, first off, thank you, Commissioner Gonzalez, for reading the proclamation, and for the board for the proclamation and allowing everyone an opportunity to speak. It has been my pleasure and my honor to have worked for the county and for the Department of Human Services for the last 22 years. It is a job that at times is difficult, challenging, frustrating, but at the same time, it's a job of hope, it's a job of compassion, and it's a job of the greater good. And I am so proud to have been a part of it, and I'm so proud to have worked alongside all of these people. I couldn't have asked for better colleagues. It's a group of people who genuinely care about making our community a better place. And I wanted to thank my family as well, my husband for putting up with me sometimes and being my sounding board, my daughter. When I first started at the department, I remember Elaine mentioned all those policies in Colorado Works, and I remember coming home one day, I think she was in high school, and I said, "Oh my goodness, Jasmine, I think I'm a smart woman, but I am just not getting this stuff." And she's like, "Hang in there, Mom, you can do it." And she bought me this little plaque that said, "Never give up," and I have had that plaque in my office every day for 22 years, and tried to always live up to who she was. And so thank you, Jasmine. And thank all of you. My husband and I are going to be going on the road in a camper for 12 months. And we're leaving mid-March. And we are, for two people who really like to, be bossy and in charge, we're trying to do that without having any itinerary and just go with the flow. So we'll see how that works. But we're very, very excited about this new adventure in our life. So thank you, everyone, and love you all.
All right, we'll bring it up here for some discussion and then a vote. Who wants to kick it off? Commissioner Gonzalez?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I've gotten to work with Cheryl with the senior, the Fountain Valley Senior Center. So it's always been great to work with you and seeing you at those meetings and all the work that you've done for us. And of course, being in DHS, we know it's a difficult, position, very rewarding. But a very difficult job, and so we appreciate all those years that you've done and given to the community, not just to the county, but to the community out there. And it's something well-deserved retirement. So a whole 12 months. I'm trying to figure out how to implement this clapper system in our area, because I kind of like that thing. I think very motivating, so I kind of like that idea. But I just wanted to thank you, for all the great things you've done for us and for the community, and God bless.
I think the last thing you need is a clapper system. I'm just going to say that. Sounds dangerous to me. Commissioner Vanderwerf?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Cheryl, it's been a pleasure working with you occasionally over at DHS, and we've done a few things together, and those were wonderful. And there's no doubt about the calm demeanor that you have, and kind of the cultural maturity that you've brought to DHS, and you've had that 22 years to do that. And I think the hiring process was a fascinating story about how you actually got to DHS. But I tell you what, that sounds to me like divine intervention, like it was meant to be, right? There was no force that was going to keep you from being in DHS for 22 years. And I just think that's really fantastic. This client-focused legacy that you're going to bring, I heard this from some of the others that were talking today, thanking you for your service in DHS, about being client-focused. That's absolutely right. So it's clear to me that you are leaving a legacy in DHS. I could hear it in the words from the others that were thanking you for your service. And then you said yourself, hope, compassion, and the greater good. I really, really believe in that. And you also mentioned never give up. Giving up is the only way to guarantee that you lose in the mission. Never give up, no matter how rough the day is. If it's a bad day, go home, have a glass of wine with your significant other, and come back the next day refreshed and ready to do the job again. Because giving up is the way to lose. So never giving up, that's just fantastic. And I heard this comment about empathy for people in poverty. That's wonderful. And I bet you that's part of your legacy in DHS, is the expression of empathy. So I really love that. And you know, I often wonder, what do people do when they retire out of El Paso County and go on? But you said it. You just said a year of camping. I think that's wonderful. I hope that works out for you. And be safe when you're on the road. And I hope you just find some amazing national parks and some great campsites that you're really, really going to enjoy. So thanks very much for all that you've done for DHS and for the county and for the citizens. And I wish you a farewell and good luck on that camping. I bet that's going to be a blast. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Brimmer?
You know, I feel like I missed out on something big here, and I am inspired by what others have said of you. I could probably use some of those simplistic explanations that Elaine talked about right about now, but I do feel like I've missed out on something big, but I hope, and I know that big things are ahead for you as well. I also wanted to just personally thank you for the work that you've done in adult protective services. It's an often overlooked piece of what the Department of Human Services does, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. Commissioner Williams?
Well, I did work for DHS for a very short time, and I always have a great respect for those who are able to not only deal with the people who come in who are in poverty, but also deal with the statewide computer system, so, which can be way worse. And I do remember you as a person of great calm, and so I hope you enjoy your retirement, and you will be greatly missed.
Well, thank you for your years of service. It always impresses me, especially when the DHS folks come and do a retirement here. You guys are such a family, and I think that's a great testament to all of you that have been great leaders there, and certainly a great testament to Julie and you know, moving your staff forward in a positive direction. But it always just absolutely amazes me how much of a family you all are, and how dedicated you all are to accomplishing, as Commissioner Vanderwerf said, the mission, you know, which is taking care of the most vulnerable people in our society. So, you know, I think the good news is you've left a great legacy, and I think that the organization's going to carry on just fine. The bad news is we're losing a tremendous amount of experience and a tremendous amount of empathy for our community, and a tremendous amount of caring. So enjoy your retirement, and please make sure you send us some pictures from the road. All right, with that, I will call the roll. Commissioner Brimmer?
Aye.
Commissioner Vanderwerf?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That passes unanimously. We will stand in a brief recess for a picture. So if everybody could come to the middle.